What is an apprenticeship and what is an apprenticeship good for? Today's video, I want to share with you guys what an apprenticeship is and the benefits of becoming an apprentice and ultimately getting into an apprenticeship. Blue Collar EDU, I'm here to expose, teach, and educate you guys about blue collar career opportunities. So that's why today I want to explain what an apprenticeship is and how an apprenticeship could be good benefit for you, especially if you want to build a career in the skilled trades. What even is an apprenticeship program? An apprenticeship program is basically a structured program designed to teach someone who has no idea or knows the basics about a skilled trade in the blue collar world, in welding, a lineman, iron worker, HVAC technician, electrician, plumber, doesn't matter the trade. The apprenticeship program is supposed to take that person who has zero or to minimal knowledge about that trade and make them a journeyman, master, or a profession in that trade. I'll today use the lineman trade as an example, the Lineman Apprenticeship. That's the apprenticeship I went through 2017 to 2020, and that's the one I'm the most familiar with. But what you'll understand is Lineman Apprenticeship, Ironwork Apprenticeship, Plumber Apprenticeship, Electrician Apprenticeship, they're all structured pretty much the same. When it comes to the Lineman Apprenticeship, it is structured to be a 7,000 hour apprenticeship. So you have 7,000 hours. And when they say 7,000 hours, you might be thinking that's a lot of hours. The duration of an apprenticeship is usually 3 to 5 years long. And this duration is going to strictly be basically dependent on the trade. The lineman trade there's a lot of things to learn within that trade. The HVAC trade, heating, ventilation, air conditioning, refrigerant trade, there's a lot to learn in that trade as well. Plumbing, electrical, there's a whole lot to learn about those different trades within that trade itself. So the apprenticeship is supposed to teach you all about that. But when it comes to the lineman apprenticeship, it's 7,000 hours. And we can break this down to 1,000-hour increments. Within that 1,000 hours, you have to essentially are learning everything about that trade, but in categories. So for the lineman trade, you're going to have overhead distribution, you're going to have underground distribution, you're going to have transmission lines, you're going to have substation. You're going to have also in-class learning where you have to get, X 160 hours a year of in-class learning to learn about the more technical side of the trade, transformer theory, electrical theory, the different electrical components, and learning the materials and everything else like that. So within 1,000 hours, you're going to have to learn all that stuff. In the lineman apprenticeship, you are going to have what is called steps. You're going to have first step, second step, third step, fourth step, fifth step, sixth step, and seventh step. Being a 7,000-hour apprenticeship, every 1,000 hours, or roughly every 6 months, you step up to the next level. Getting indentured and just starting out in your apprenticeship, you're gonna start as a first step. After 6 months or 1,000 hours, you increase to a second step. And with that increase from first to second step, you also get a pay raise. And then it goes second to third, fourth to fifth, sixth to seventh. And once you become a seventh step, you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. That's when you're completing your apprenticeship. You're rounding the corner to the finish line, and you probably have 6,580 hours or however many hours you're getting close. By the time you're getting close to having all of your hours, you're gonna take what's called a journeyman test. Now the journeyman test is gonna basically test you on everything that you've learned through your 3 to 5 year apprenticeship. And by passing this test, you are going to become a journeyman of that trade. A journeyman lineman, a journeyman plumber, a journeyman electrician, a journeyman HVAC technician, a journeyman iron worker. In any one of the trades out there, you can become a journeyman in that trade by completing a registered apprenticeship. With each step increase, or other apprenticeships they're called a little bit differently. It would be steps. It can be first period to second period to third period, first level, second level, third level, fourth level. There's apprenticeships for everything. Everything in construction industry, everything electrical infrastructure, everything in mechanical, a millwright, a boiler maker, welding. There's all kinds of apprenticeships for every skilled trade. You're going to have union apprenticeships, and you're going to have open shop or non-union apprenticeships where a company or organization can take you in as an apprentice and basically put you through a state training program that they will sponsor you essentially, and you can complete an apprenticeship through that way as well. So those are your two different kind of ways, but they're organized around the same way. You're gonna have the three categories. You're gonna have on the job learning, which essentially you're just an employee, you're working, but you're working underneath direct journeyman supervision and other apprentices around you. So you're learning on the job. As I was stating, the lineman trade, you'll be working on a transmission line under direct supervision of journeymen and other apprentices, learning on how transmission lines are built, the kind of work, everything that goes into building a transmission line. It's the same thing. You're gonna have to get a certain amount of hours in doing underground distribution or overhead distribution or working in a substation under direct supervision so you can learn how it's properly done. So that way, when you get to the end of your apprenticeship, between your on-the-job training, learning, you're gonna have in-class learning as well, where you're going to have to go to class either on the weekends or 1 week in a month or every other Saturday, or every apprenticeship is structured a little bit differently, but you're gonna have in-class learning, and you're also gonna have in the field in a controlled environment learning as well. Basically in the class learning. It's essentially the same thing. You're just not in a classroom. You're gonna be kind of out in a more of a training environment where they're gonna show you more hands-on things. So those are basically the three categories that you'll have within an apprenticeship for you as an apprentice to learn. And after that 3 to 5 years, that's 7,000 hours, you take that journeyman test, is based off everything you've learned inside the apprenticeship, and you become a journeyman. With that journeyman ticket, you can take tests at your state to become a master, electrician, plumber, or HVAC technician. You can start your own company. There's a lot of different avenues you can go down once you have that journeyman ticket. So what we call an apprenticeship is the bachelor's degree of the blue collar world, because it typically takes on average 4 years, and through that apprenticeship you will most likely also get college credits that you can use towards an applied science degree or construction management degree. You do get some credits that you can use at certain colleges or community colleges for your own benefit if you want to get further education in your future. There is also one other thing that you'll get within your apprenticeship, and that is certifications within whatever specific apprenticeship you're in, whether that be the IUOE, the Heavy Equipment Operators Apprenticeship, or the Lineman Apprenticeship, or Ironworkers. You're going to get certain certifications that you need to have to be a qualified person working in that trade. Lineman trade, you need your Class A CDL, which you're supposed to get before you get in the apprenticeship. You're gonna need your CPR first aid card. You're going to get your crane certification, your OSHA 10, your OSHA 30. You're going to get hand and signal certifications. You're gonna get rigging certifications. You're gonna get all these certifications you need to be a qualified worker. It's the same everywhere else you go. Ironworkers apprenticeship, it's the same way. You're gonna get every proper certification you need, all the welding certifications, the rigging certifications, all those things you're going to get within the apprenticeship. Now, there are some requirements that you're going to need to meet to get into an apprenticeship or apply for an apprenticeship. And those things are basically 18 years old, high school diploma or GED, American citizen, be able to pass a drug test, have a valid driver's license. And that I made a separate video. I'll have it linked up here in one of these corners where you guys can go check that out, the requirements to apply for an apprenticeship. And yes, getting into an apprenticeship isn't as easy as just, hey, I want to become an apprentice lineman, or hey, I want to become a apprentice plumber. It's not as easy as just doing that. You need to do some research. You can go online and Google plumbing apprenticeships or lineman apprenticeships. I have a bunch of videos on that stuff on the channel you guys can go check out. But yes, it's not as easy as just becoming an apprentice. It does take time. You do need to apply. You do need to fill out an application. There's an application process. There's interviews. So I don't want to make it sound as easy as just walking in somewhere and just getting an apprenticeship, because it's not that easy for the most part. You do need to apply. You do need to go through application processes. You do need to do interviews. And you do need to meet the minimum requirements for these apprenticeships to apply. Basically, the benefits of being an apprentice and completing an apprenticeship is you get to earn while you learn. While you're working, you're getting paid as an employee. You are working, you are learning, you are getting paid. You will have pretty good job security, especially as an apprentice, because the apprenticeship committee, whatever apprenticeship you're in, is responsible for keeping you working. So you're not supposed to necessarily solicit your own work. You don't have to find your own work. The apprenticeship is supposed to place you in positions to find different jobs to keep you working. Being an apprentice, there's that guarantee of career growth. So starting as a first step apprentice, you're gonna work your all the way up to a 7-step and then ultimately journeyman. And then once you become a journeyman level, then you can just even take your career further, becoming, a foreman or a general foreman or a supervisor or director of construction. The sky's really the limit once you become a journey level. It's just all about networking, working different places, getting experience, learning different skills. That's a whole different topic. So hopefully you guys learned today from this video what an apprenticeship is and the benefits of the apprenticeship and why it might be a good idea. If you want to find a good career, look for a union apprenticeship so you can go get the proper training, the proper education in the field, on the job, in the classroom learning. You can become a journeyman or master of the trade you want to get into. Blue Collar EDU, I'm here to expose, teach, educate you guys about blue collar career opportunities and how to get started. If you guys have any other questions about anything blue collar related, apprenticeships or whatever, leave them in the comments down below, or you can go ahead and email them at austin@bluecollaredu.com and I'll answer them on CTQ or I'll answer them directly back to you. With all that being said, I'll catch you guys on the next video.